Hi everybody. You might have noticed that I am not wearing my usual typical t-shirt. I even got a pair of khakis on rather than jeans or work pants. I am getting ready right now to head to the Cochise County office. One of our friends, Julie, we met her at Ransom Ranch. She runs a organization called Bienestaroasis that she's trying to start up. It sounds like a very positive organization. She plans on instituting a permaculture design out there, offering yoga, and trying to help people with high stress jobs like police and military with PTSD. So I think it's a pretty worthy cause. So Grace and I are going to head down to the Cochise County office in a little bit, and we're going to try and put in a good word to try and get that permit going through, because I think overall the support for the business is overall positive, but there have been some rather outspoken neighbors coming out against it. I think those worries are misguided. I think this can only be a positive experience for the people that it's for, as well as the community. As you can see, the winds are still kicking up today. That's part of the reason why I'm hiding behind the trailer. Plus, I'm trying to get a little bit of shade here because it has been about 90 degrees, so it's getting warm. Alright, Grace and I are about to head out here in a little bit. I'll be right back and tell you guys how the meeting went. Okay, as I previously recorded, this is actually the next day. Grace and I went out to support Julie from Bienestaroasis at her public hearing to try and get her business off the ground. And I hadn't originally intended this video to be about that whole thing, but after attending that hearing, I just had to kind of talk a little bit more about that. Our idea for the Bienestaroasis is sort of like a glamping ground where people can go and kind of have a more comfortable camping experience. She wants to offer yoga there. She wants to incorporate, permaculture design on the property. She wants to, one of the bigger things that I think that some of the neighbors got upset about is the fact that she mentioned that she wants to sort of offer remediation for people with PTSD, to give them some yoga courses to help aid in that. And I think that was one of the issues that some of the neighbors have had. When I first went down there, I knew that there was opposition to obviously what she had wanted. I guess I just didn't realize at the time quite how strongly the neighbors felt against it. So we went there. There were 4 other hearings before Julie's, and it all went fairly smoothly. The first person whose hearing couldn't actually attend, so they had tabled that one. But the next 3 went fairly quick. There was like a docket on there for creating like wanted to turn this area into like an event, a place where people can hold events. That passed unanimously. There was even one wanting to turn current sort of farm production land into medical marijuana growing facility. That passed unanimously, no problems. But there was a lot of opposition to Julie's project. which is kind of crazy. She mentioned that she never thought she'd see a day where yoga was more controversial than marijuana. But a lot of her right around surrounding neighbors had showed up in opposition to it. Julie had gotten a lot of support. A lot of people came from surrounding areas to try and help this thing pass. You know, Grace was there, of course, and I was there trying to say something. But I think the odds, I didn't realize it, but I think the odds were stacked against her. The county, it seems like the county has someone that goes over and kind of reviews each of these cases. So that person talked about some of the potential benefits, some of the potential things going against it, like road access, the fact that some people had wrote in letters for and against. Then Julie went up there, presented her case. She did a very excellent job. She had these slides. She made these very salient points as to the benefits of having that in the area. I thought very smart, very professionally done. Then it was time for people to speak. Originally, the neighbors had a spokesperson, one person, kind of go up there to speak for the group. And the guy was a very good speaker, made their points. Then there was just a flood of people for Julie, coming from various areas, Bisbee, whatnot, talking about how positive this would have been for the community. And then I think after all those people speaking for her went up there, then more people kind of signed up later to speak against. Also, then after that, Julie had an opportunity again to go up there, and she kind of got a little time for a rebuttal. After that, the guy from the county overseeing her case actually recommended denial of the special use permit. And I thought that was a huge blow, because up until then, it had all been approval. So he actually recommended denying. And one of the also things he recommended, like if it was approved, that she would pay 5 times the amount that all the other people are paying for road improvements, which I thought was like crazy. And then they also, after end of that, they also brought up someone from the county for the transportation department. And that actually went in Julie's favor, because she talked about road access and about how, like, if it was her property was divided up, because it could have been divided up into 5 family homes, and if it had been divided up like that, there'd probably be more traffic going in and out of there than the traffic that she's saying that there would be. Also, one of the concerns is just that there can be flooding in Cochise County. There's a known flooding problem in Cochise County, and businesses would be self-limiting in that regard anyway, that they wouldn't have people going in and out of there during those floods. But when it came down to the vote, it actually turned out as a split decision. 4 people for, 4 of them against, which I believe they said has never happened before. I can only imagine when that got handed down. I'm sure Julie was, crushed, because this means that she has to go through this whole process again next month. I was thinking after that happened, man, it's got to be harsh, but considering all she was up against, I think that is not a loss. What happened here was not a loss. She gets a little bit of time to try and recoup, try and redo things. Maybe she could talk to some neighbors. I don't know, but she gets another swing at it, which I think is a pretty good opportunity, and especially since those odds were stacked against her, I think she could give it a shot, a real good shot to turn that around. Personally, I think, she's not trying to put in a very large business, It's very small considering, very small camping ground with tents, with natural structures, yoga classes. It's not very big, and I think it can only be a positive force for the community, especially since she's considering, implementing permaculture design over the property. I just don't think the neighbors understand how much that would benefit. And I can see the neighbors' point. The neighbors bought rural land out there. They want to keep it quiet and rural, but I don't think Julie's plan would disrupt that all that much, if at all. It's kind of crazy because, listening to the neighbors speak out there, it all kind of boiled down to the same argument. It's like, well, we support permaculture, we support yoga, we support our troops. We just want her to do it somewhere else, not around here. Which it brings me to one of the quotes that I've kind of been living by, and it's be the change you want to see in the world. It's like you can't always rely on that to happen somewhere else. If you really support that, support it. Who cares if it's happening just down the road a little bit? We all got to do our part to help. So Julie's got another meeting in a month, and if she wants our help, I'll be there again. I'm sure Grace will be there. I'm sure if Peter and Jessica don't have to work, they'll be there too. It's a good project. I think it deserves to get off the ground. And we'll be there to support her if she wants it. I think it's a great project, and it deserves to get off the ground. Thanks for joining us today. Like I said, I hadn't really intended this to be all about that hearing, but just after having attended, my hopes were high going in there, and it just felt crushing. It felt crushing to me, so I can't even imagine how it felt for Julie. With that being said, thanks for watching, guys. Please stay tuned. A lot of great projects coming up. So if you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. And for regular updates, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. All right? Okay, bye.